When you taste a little bit of success, oh man, it's an incredible motivator. It's almost like your fuel tanks get refilled instantly. Some people require their fuel tank to be refilled very, very often. Others, like me, can go for a very long time. How is my tank so big, one might ask? What drives me? How do you just keep on keeping on, even though you're in the gutter and you're sucking that shit in? I don't know. Deep down in my soul, I always felt like I would work it out. I've been around long enough to see lots of people in lots of different circumstances just keep on keeping on, and eventually they find a solution. The bottom line is quitting is not an option. And I'm not even referring to just squatting every day. Screw squatting every day. The act of trying to work something out is what this is about. Whether you're squatting every day or once a month or whatever, you keep going on and on and on. I've seen a lot of people hit the gym hard and then fade away. Go into other endeavors, get into cars, get into golf, get into freaking whatever else, gaming, tennis, whatever. It doesn't really matter. People come and go, and they hit the first obstacle and they fall over it. And they tried a few different things, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, 5 months, some even a year of sucking the shit in. And they get a gutful and they piss off. I'm a little bit different. I'm almost attracted to the sucking of shit. As funny as that sounds, it's like, I like it when it's hard, and I've noticed this about me. I've lived long enough now to kind of being around me for quite some time to understand what makes me tick. When a video game gets easy, it's boring to me, man. I almost love the start of a game where it's hard and I'm trying to learn stuff and I'm getting my ass kicked. It's fun to me. And weightlifting is like that. It is, the PRs come far apart and you have to wait a long time. And then you break through a plateau and then you hit the next plateau. And there's always a next plateau. And you always have to work something out to progress. It's very unforgiving. It's like one of the, I wanted to say, worst investments in terms of time and energy for what you get back. But I don't want to say that, because we all know that when you see somebody squatting 5 plates, 6 plates, you know exactly that this person didn't just do it overnight. It takes years and years. And it's not a clear, linear progression on a graph, man. You might go sucking the shit for like a year or two, or in my case, almost 2.5 years in between PRs of just like banging your head against the wall, working things out, trying different things, giving this a block, giving that a block, giving this a block, giving that a block, and nothing comes off it. You might find a hint of success. You kind of see the shadow of success and you're like, damn, it's there, but I don't have the right angle on it, and I've felt that many times, that I've made many videos about, man, this is it. Like, I'm onto something with this. And then it just isn't right, or it just doesn't feel exactly how it needs to feel. Or the pain comes back, or some sort of discomfort arises and you get stumbled again. And then you go back to square one. I mean, this happens over and over again. And I imagine, I got stuck around the 210, 212 mark. That was kind of my fight. But I'm sure people get stuck at 250, 260, 280, 300, whatever the number is. The higher you go through the ranks of strength training and the more years you put into it, the harder these things become, man. I've listened to many people at the top level talk about training a whole freaking year to put on a kilo or 2 kilos. I mean, these are some insane amounts of investments in terms of time and I was going to say money, time and energy, really, and really money, right? Because that time that you are putting into this could be spent in other things where you could be earning money, right? But we dedicate so much of our time, so much of our life into this, so you could say that it's a money investment as well. And to get back a kilo, it's insanity, right? Like it's really insanity. For the outside guy. But for the guys that are inside of this game, this is kind of what it takes. And sometimes It might take you 2 years to put on a kilo, but then it takes you 6 weeks to put on 15 kilos. Work that out. I remember Pavel Tsatsouline back in the day, I think it was on Joe Rogan, say that, success doesn't come in linear progression. Sometimes you have a breakthrough and then you have you take a huge step, right? So I'm not saying I'm going to go from 215 to 230 in a month, but I'm saying it tends to work that way. And then you get to that next level of 230 and then that becomes your plateau. And then some other problem in your body becomes a rate limiting factor. And now you got to work that shit out, right? And it's not just more quads or whatever, it's something else that you have to work out. And that's kind of the game. You're always going to have the enemy in front of you, always. You're never going to have a clear path to freaking 1 ton. That's never going to happen. So you have to come you have to come to peace with that. Whether you're struggling to getting to 215 or 230 or 240 or 250 or even 140 or 160, the numbers are pretty much irrelevant. What is relevant is your consistency, your determination, your mentality, your heart. Those are the things that they're gonna, really mean something. Because as we've said, it's a step function. So you will take steps, big steps. So when you hit a wall and you don't see any progress, you can't see the progress. But the progress is actually happening underneath. You're learning stuff. You're working stuff out. You're learning what isn't working. You're learning what is working. And all of that stuff is going to contribute to that next step. Now, the strength is going to be represented in a step. You're going to get strong very quickly. After that, dam, the water is being held by a dam, but then you're going to break through, then whoo, all this water is going to gush out and you're going to take that step of strength. You're going to get progress. Sometimes a lot of people don't like that idea. Sometimes people need that refilling of that tank very often to kind of feel like they're moving forward. It's very hard to see when there's so much fog around. This is where you need faith. You need to have that gut. You need to kind of trust the process, as they say. Keep working. Keep working. Just understand that work is what matters. The progress you're not going to see today, but it is happening. The steps are being taken. And this is something that I've kind of learned over the years. And, a lot of people say the harder the journey, the sweeter the destination. And so it's okay. It's okay if there's another guy out there who's worked it out before you. It's okay. Your journey is not going to be identical to somebody else's. I once heard somebody talk about this, and they said, never be jealous of somebody else, even if that somebody else is in your field, and they are at 30 years old. Let's say you're 30, he's 30, he's already the CEO of your company. Don't be jealous, because you never know his fate. You never know what timeline he's on. This 30-year-old might be dying at 50, right? And you're dying at 85. You become the CEO at 60, right? He became a CEO at 30. Different time frames. Never be jealous, because you never know what somebody has in store for them. You never know what's ahead of them. And so for you to be jealous of that CEO at 30, well, if you really knew that he might be dying at 50, would you still be jealous? You don't know. The point is, you don't know. So just stick to your lane, have faith, work hard, and accept whatever comes your way. If you're religious or not religious, however you view life, whether you believe in life after death or whatever you are aligned as a human being, whatever, work that stuff out and just say to yourself, I have my own timeline and I'm going to accept what it is. I'm not going to cry about some other guy, next door neighbor, or the guy next squat over who's squatting better than me. Screw that. You have your own timeline that has been created for you, and you just travel that path. Even when you are sucking the shit and everyone else is celebrating their PRs, stick to your guns, stick to the work, keep going forward, and it will come. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.